Longtime Chicago Bears Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair have been cut by the Bears, saving the Bears about $21.6 million against the cap. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears news update video, which I'll be doing anytime the Chicago Bears news going on. And I expected this to happen. These are about to be my first two cuts in my mock offseason video. Ryan Poles beat me to it. And by the way, that video should be out relatively soon. I've been pretty busy with work lately, but I think that video should be out next week. Or next week at the very latest. So be on the lookout for that video. But yeah, I expected this to happen because both Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair were getting up there in age. Both of them had pretty significant cap hits for 2024. And based on their production right now, it didn't make sense to keep them on the team at their current cap hits. Eddie Jackson had an $18 million cap hit for this year, and Cody Whitehair had about a $13 million cap hit for this season. So obviously both of them were going to be cut because the NFL sadly is a business, and this gives the Bears now about $68.4 million to work with entering free agency this upcoming offseason, which is the third highest number in the NFL. So the Bears will have a lot of money yet again to spend on players to build depth on this roster, to maybe acquire a star if they want to. We have to pay Jalen Johnson to keep in mind, so some of this money is going to be going towards either franchise tagging Jalen Johnson or extending him. Hopefully the Bears are able to extend him, come to terms on a long-term extension, but if not, the franchise tag is going to be about $18 or $19 million. So this was a move that had to happen to make cap room for younger players that are better for the Bears, in the present day. But it still does suck, and it still does hurt to see longtime Chicago Bears leave the team. Okay, both of these guys have been here for what seems like forever. Eddie Jackson was drafted by the Bears back in 2017. Cody Whitehair was drafted back in 2016. So they have been here for 6-7 years and have been through so many different quarterbacks, multiple different regimes, and both of them provided the Bears with so many fantastic seasons of good play. Okay, even though I know both of them declined in their level of play the last couple seasons, and especially Cody Whitehair, as of late, us Bears fans have been hating him. Eddie Jackson, also, like the last couple years, besides 2022, was not the same player he was back in 2017, 2018, 2019. But that doesn't mean that we can't appreciate all the good times that we had watching these players, especially Eddie Jackson. Okay, Eddie Jackson, he was the first player ever to reach out to me to respond and show love on my highlight reels, and back then that meant so damn much to me. The fact that a player on the team reached out and complimented my skills and loved the video, I was like jumping up and down that day, like, holy shit, Eddie freaking Jackson responded to me. And back then I had less than 5,000 subscribers on Instagram and Twitter. I had like no following whatsoever, like less than like 1,000, right? So back then that meant so damn much to me that a player like Eddie Jackson took the time out of his day to reach out to me and make my day. Okay, since that moment I became a massive Eddie Jackson fan, and obviously, like, throughout the entire 2018 season, he gave us some of the best memories that we were ever going to have being Chicago Bears fans, okay? The amount of interceptions, the amount of pick sixes that he had that season, the plays he made in coverage, the celebrations. I mean, I was there in attendance at Soldier Field when he took that pick six back from Kirk Cousins right in front of me. That was fantastic. He had a pick six against the Lions, on Thanksgiving, which basically won the Chicago Bears that game. Like, he made so many damn plays that season. And, also in 2017 and 2019, he had pretty good seasons. And, I just really thought he was going to be a Bear forever and potentially a Hall of Famer after those couple years. Now, obviously, that did not end up happening, and his level of play did decline eventually, but like, I'm still so extremely thankful for the memories that Eddie Jackson gave us on this football team. And he also had to go through so many tough times, which a lot of people don't know about. Like, he lost his best friend. His wife had multiple miscarriages too, which took a big toll on him mentally, obviously, because he had to, bury a child, right? So a lot of dark times for him mentally, throughout the 2019-2020-ish season, but he did, bounce back eventually. He still kept playing football, and then, in 2022, he had a fantastic season in Eberflus's new scheme, but unfortunately, he got injured halfway throughout that season, and then in 2023, wasn't really the same guy anymore, so the Bears cut him. But again, so thankful for Eddie Jackson for all the memories he gave me being a Bears fan, for that fantastic 2018 season in which, that was probably one of the best seasons I've ever seen out of any Bears player ever in the history of this franchise. And again, the fact that he reached out to me, showed love to me back when no other player really did, I will always appreciate that so much. And best of luck to him wherever he ends up, I'm definitely going to miss him, even though I know the last couple seasons, were a little bit disappointing. Always will love Eddie Jackson. And then talking about Cody Whitehair, a lot of respect to him as well, even though the last couple years have not been good out of him. And I've been trying to cut him in my mock off-season videos, both in 2022 and 2023. Now, finally, 2024, he is actually being cut by Ryan Poles. I still am going to show appreciation towards him because he still gave a lot of effort to this team, okay? Even though the last couple years weren't really that good, the first 4 or 5 years of his career were pretty good, okay? And he became a leader in the locker room as well, a player that young guys in the Bears offensive line looked up to. Guys like Tevin Jenkins, guys like Braxton Jones, Darnell Wright talked about Cody Whitehair being a good leader on this team and a guy that you could talk to for advice. And even though he was, demoted eventually to the bench last season, he did not complain about it at all. He did not cry to the media like some other players would. He took it in stride because he accepted the fact that, he was not playing at a high level this season. And I have a lot of respect for a guy like that can accept that and, be okay with it and not complain about it. So I have a lot of respect for both Cody and Eddie. Both of them were fantastic people. Both were really nice to the fan base. Both provided the Bears with fantastic memories and high level play early on in their Bears career. And wherever they end up next, I'll be cheering them on because once you're a Bear, you're always a Bear in my book. So leave your comments down below. What do you guys think about these cuts? I'm sure a lot of people expected these cuts to happen, but it still does hurt a little bit, especially a guy like Eddie Jackson who, had a place in a lot of Bears fans' hearts for that 2018 season. The fact that he's finally gone, it does suck, but it's time to move on because it's 2024 now, and this cap space the Bears got is going to help the Bears put a really good team together, hopefully, for 2024. Leave your comments down below. As always, bear down.